Good to us. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Cliff Russell Show on 910 AM Superstation, the future of radio. And we have callers calling in. The number's 313-778-7600. And John is on line one. Hey, John. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon, Russell. Russell, thank you for winding up these scans about these education and these ball players and stuff. Because James Brown, I don't know if you're familiar with him, he's a forecaster. He said he had the same idea. He was giddy. He didn't know he was going to be a star. But boy, he said he went in hell one day in the locker room, and the coach told him to clear his locker out and so forth. And he said that he broke down and cried because he knew he was going to make it and so forth. And so, like you said, he said he got to go back to school and go to college and get his education. So like you said, you got to teach them, they got to give education more than just basketball and so forth.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Russell, I want to say, you said being fair with a flat rate tax deal. That's impossible to be fair with a flat tax rate with these billionaires and multi-millionaires. Yeah, you got to raise taxes with them. There's something like 39 to 59% to make them pay to be fair with the tax bills in this country.
Yes.
And the working class folks, they call them low income, I guess. True. Some folks don't compare to being fair with them taxes and so forth.
Well, and so I agree. I mean, a flat tax sounds fair, and if we can make that work, as I said, then okay. But the truth of the matter is, and I mentioned this too, the very wealthy, the 1% in this country, make so much more money than the rest of us, that their tax rates fairly should be higher. And they'll still be 100 times more. They'll still have 100 times more money than me and you.
That's right. It's impossible to have a flat tax rate to be fair with all the customers and people in this country. And the citizens, so forth. So I just want my opinion about the flat tax rate. That's what them millionaires all about.
And I'm glad.
And the Republicans all about a flat tax rate.
Exactly. And I agree with you, John, and I appreciate your call a lot. One of the problems that you have too is that so many wealthy folks take advantage of loopholes and other insider knowledge about taxes, where they don't pay their fair share of taxes anyway. I've heard folks say, well, the rich, they earn that money, they should keep it. Yeah, but they earn that money in a country that allowed them to earn that money. And because you are in this country, then you have an obligation to pay a fair amount of taxes to contribute to the progress and the growth of this country so that it can help take care of its citizens, and you'll still be filthy rich. At some point, you got to cut out the greed. Let's get back to our phone lines. We got time for a couple more callers at least until we bring a special guest on. That means Wendell on line 2 is our next caller. Hey, Wendell, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Cliff. Hey, thanks for taking my call. You said you about to have the Wayne County Road Commissioner on?
The Oakland County Road Commissioner on. No, and it's not a commissioner.
Okay.
Craig Bryson is a spokesperson for the Oakland County Road Commission, but he's an expert in all this snow and salt and plows and what it takes to clean off these streets.
Okay, well, I won't be able to talk to him. Because this is what I want to know. I just got telegraphed in 96 and made it to the east side, right? What's going on with the roads, my brother? It is horrible out here.
Yes.
So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Wait till people get off work. This is the perfect time to be plowing and salting these streets, right? So what are they going to do? Someone's not on their job, for real. I wish somebody would get on their job. This is so not cool. It's dangerous out there, man. Somebody needs to get on their job. Now, when rush hour traffic comes, it's going to be horrible, my brother. Hey, Cliff, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate the call, man. I just got into work not too long before I came on the air. And you're right, all of the freeways, and I was on 1, 2, 3 of them. They were all slippery and snow-covered. And now, I did see a couple of plows out there, and I know that this snow has been falling continuously since early this morning. As a matter of fact, my one of my sons shoveled the snow for me this morning. I didn't do it because they don't let me do it, by the way. If you had a heart attack, your family doesn't let you shovel the snow. But anyway, that's probably a good thing. My son shoveled the snow for me this morning, did a good job. By the time I came out to go to work, you couldn't tell that anybody had shoveled the snow. So that could be part of the problem as well. But when we talk to Craig Bryson in a couple of minutes, we will find out exactly what the situation is out there. Let's take one more call before we talk to Craig Bryson. Let's talk to Rick on line 3. Hey, Rick, thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Cliff. You had caught my attention with the caller before last, and I saw those roads. They are terrible. About that tenant and landlord discussion kind of thing. And I think that's really a good piece. But keeping in mind that neither the landlord or the tenant are experts on each other. So you're not going to really get anywhere with that other than a debate, about things that, that are basically going to be in each of their interests. And I was going to say, though, what needs to happen is a campaign to identify the person that tenants are giving their complaints to. I noticed that tenants call radio shows, TV shows, and places like that with their complaints. I have to wonder if there is a registered person, a person on file, somebody charged with taking the tenant complaint so it's at least in the pile. And I think there is where we really need to start putting a little bit more pressure on that issue. And it's good for both people because we need to hear from the landlords as well. That's Majory.com. We bring everybody. And so we need their agenda as well. We need the tenants. But we need to hear their claims and the content and context that they're making them. And so it's better if there's a collective.
Rick,
at the show, I tell you,
yeah, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Okay, I was just going to say, if each person at these apartment complexes, condo communities, neighborhood communities had a designated person, whether it was the block club captain or a whole new person, okay, or a whole new office, where their actual experiences, not what they heard, but their experiences can be put in a record so that, we can see if anything has happened in these communities. That's the way to go.
I appreciate the calls always, Rick. And I know that there's landlord-tenant court. I know that many complexes or condos or apartment buildings have tenant organizations where they'll present mutual problems to the landlord. I know some management companies have a person designated to take complaints. And so we're going to have that conversation. We will do a show on that, and we'll get some experts in here to talk about landlord-tenant issues. Rachel says she's not going to let me forget. And so we will make sure we do that. Hey, let's get back to these roads and somebody who can talk a lot about them with expertise. Craig Bryson is the head spokesperson, the czar of media, the radio and television guru of the Oakland County Road Commission, and is a great guy. I used to work with him years ago, and he is one of the good guys. Craig Bryson, it's good to finally have you on the show, my friend. Good afternoon to you.
Cliff, it's great to be here. Good to hear your voice.
Fantastic. Good to know that you're moving on to bigger and better things, my friend. We are very proud of you.
I don't know about the bigger and better, but days like this.
I'll leave that alone, man. First of all, you guys are in touch with the real meteorologists. What are they saying we are about to face here in southeastern Michigan?
Well, the next couple of days are going to be pretty challenging. The latest report we got from our meteorologists is that it's actually going to cut back a little bit this afternoon, but then kick back in the early morning hours tomorrow. And we'll have some more snow tomorrow and more snow on Sunday. So this is it's going to be a pretty relentless weekend here.
Now, I understand we have between 4 and 6 now and could have between 6 and 12, between 10 and 12 before it lightens up later on.
That's what we're hearing too. We think we've got pretty close to 6 inches in parts of Oakland County right now. And it's at the moment anyhow, it's still coming down very hard.
Okay. When that happens, or when you know that's going to happen, what is the system? How do you guys get notified? How do you mobilize to meet it head on?
Right. We do contract with meteorological services. We also are in close contact with the National Weather Service. We monitor the radar. We listen to you good folks and try to listen to as many sources as we can and watch the weather come in. We have a system in place where all of our workers that work in the road maintenance portion of our agency know that this time of year they're on call 24/7. They all know when there's inclement weather coming. So we give them a call. Usually it takes about 2 hours from the time we call them till they can get to the garages, get in the trucks, and get the trucks out on the road. So we have a call-out process. We did that at 1 a.m. this morning. We had the trucks on the road by 3 a.m. when the first snowflakes started to fall. The big challenge now is managing the human resources. Our own internal rules are that our drivers can work for 16 hours, and then they have to have a 5.5-hour break, and then they can come back and work another 16 hours. And looks like that's probably going to happen today. A lot of them did come in at 3 a.m. That 16 hours will be up at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll bring in a smaller second shift to work overnight and bring in the rest of the drivers back in sometime in the early morning hours this coming morning.
Now, there are different jurisdictions, too, and I think people need to understand that. What you do in Oakland County has nothing to do with what happens in Wayne County or on the interstate system. At least that's what I've been led to believe. What is the jurisdiction there?
Well, as far as the interstate system, we do maintain, in Oakland County, we maintain all of the state highway system on behalf of MDOT. We are essentially a contractor for MDOT. So all the freeways, all the IM or US routes in Oakland County, that includes Woodward, Telegraph, 696, I-75, M15, M59, the Lodge, 275, M5, all of those we maintain on behalf of MDOT. So we're out there working for them. We do the routine maintenance, which includes plowing, salting, pothole patching, etc. But of course, we are different from Wayne County. We work closely with our partners on the other side of 8 Mile. And we get along great with them, with our friends in Macomb County, but we don't share responsibilities as far as the roads go.
Okay, so if I'm on certain freeways or certain roads and feel they haven't been plowed or salted or whatever, I need to know where I'm at before I call your office and complain, right?
Well, that's true, although we do, if we get calls that are for roads not under our jurisdiction, because there are also cities and villages, and in Oakland County there's 40 cities and villages, all of which have some of their own roads. Mm-hmm. So we oftentimes get calls for sections of a mile road that may not be ours, but we will then forward it on to the city or village.
All right. Now, I'm like a couple of callers that called earlier. I was riding on the road. I was on 96, which is not in Oakland County, but I was on I-96 earlier today, and there were no accidents, but there was still a lot of snow and a lot of slipperiness. But I also understand that we have had continuous snow since early this morning. Is that the problem where the trucks and the plows may be out, but not long after they go past, the snow comes down and covers it once again?
Absolutely. I mean, it's really a simple mathematical equation. Our average salt truck route takes about 2 hours to complete. Right now, the snow is falling at a rate of about an inch an hour or inch and a half an hour. So, by the time a truck gets from the beginning of the route to the end of the route 2 hours later, that first part of the route could have 2 inches of new snow on it and look like they haven't touched it. Additionally, we maintain between our roads and the state highways about 3,000 miles of road. When we have what we call our full contingent or full force out, we've got 106 trucks. And many of those freeways and major roads are multi-lane, so it's not just one pass on I-75 and you're done. It's 4 passes on each side.